Right, so guys, activity 38, we're on the oblique plane, okay? So it says, to complete the plan elevation after it's been cut by the oblique plane. Draw the true shape of the cut surface. So we have a square base pyramid here, okay? And it's cut by the oblique plane, VTH here, okay? So there's the traces of the oblique plane that we're cut. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to draw the true shape of that surface after it's cut. We're going to draw it when it's cut, okay? So, the first thing we do need to do here is we can't actually see this. So we have our x1, y1 and our x2, y2 set up already. Okay, they're just for guides. I'll show you how to get them and where they come from. So we can't actually see where this triangular base square base pyramid is cut. So what we need to do is we need to look along our horizontal trace. Okay, so we need to look up along our horizontal trace, and what that does is that will give us an edge view of the plane. Okay, so if I'm standing here and looking in here, I'll be able to see where the vertical, where the plane cuts into this square base pyramid. Okay, so we project along our horizontal trace. Okay, so we want to bring up all our points. We're going to bring up point D, point A, O, and C, and we're going to bring up point B. Now, where do our heights come from? So we got an elevation plan. We're projecting to create a new elevation. So the heights come from our elevation, because the height of this is going to be the same in our new elevation up here. So I'm going to project point O up here. Okay. C, A, B, C, and D are already on the ground. Okay, so I'm going to label them D, A, C, and B, and O is up there now. Okay, so I'm going to join from O to D, O to B, and O back to A and C. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to find the vertical trace. Okay, so what we do here is we'll start by drawing a vertical line up anywhere, random line. Okay, it's a random line anywhere on our XY line up to hit our vertical trace. Where that hits our ground line, we're going to bring that up parallel to our horizontal trace. Okay, we're going to take the height of it in elevation. Okay, take that height of it there. I'm going to step it off up here. Okay, so that's a point on our vertical trace. We have our other point. We have our HT. This is on the ground there. So I can join them together. What that gives me then is, that gives me my VT. Okay, and I see that as an edge now. Now I see where that vertical trace cuts into this pyramid. Okay, so what do we do then? Well, we have our points OD. We have where this crosses. So there's our cut points. Okay, so cuts OD there at point 1, say. Cuts AC at point 2, and it cuts OB at point 3. So I'm just going to highlight those 3 points there. Okay, and what do we do then? We bring them back. Okay, so we bring them back. So this cuts AOD there, so I'm going to bring this point back, point 1 back there, and that's OD, point 1. Where it hits point 3, I'm going to bring it back, and point 3 is on the line OB, so that's point 3 there. Now, how do we get point 2? Well, we do that the same as the last time. We bring it out to the extreme generator. Okay, so we bring it out to hit OB. Okay, we bring it down to hit OB in our plan. Okay, and then we take our compass, stick our compass in the center point, bring it out to that point there, and we rotate it around to give us where it hits OC and OA. Okay, once we have that, then we can go back and heavy that in. So join 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 2 on this side, and 3 to 1 back there. And then go back and heavy in your elevation, or your plan, sorry. Okay, now how do we find those points in our elevation? Well, we need to bring them straight up. So Again, this is on the line OD, so I bring point 1 up to OD. That's point 1 there. I'll call that 2, and 3, and that's 4. It's going to be 4 for me. So 2 is on the line AO. So AO is there. So that's point 2. 3 is on the line BO. That's point 3. And point 4 is on the line BO as well. Point 4. And then all I do is just join them up. Okay? So 2 goes to 3. 1 goes to 2. 3 to 4. 4, 3. And then you can heavy in that then down along there. Okay, so that's the elevation and plan cut after it's been cut by the oblique plane. What we want now is find the true shape of this cut surface, okay? So if you can imagine, I've got cut this here. This is my true shape up there. So if I was standing looking directly in at that there, I'd see my true shape. So if I was standing looking directly in there, I'd see my true shape, okay? So if that's the case, I want to look, come out here, set up a line, an X2, Y2, perpendicular or parallel to our cut base. Okay, and then what I want to do is we want to project those guys out at 90 degrees to that. Okay, the cut surface. So I'm going to bring out point 1 there, 2 and 4, and point 3. Okay, now what we need to do then is, right, we need to take our widths. So if you look here, this was an elevation, this is a plan. We projected from the plan, we set up a new elevation. If we project from the elevation, we're setting up a new plan. So we need to take our widths from the plan, okay? So last time, if you think, right, so project up the plan, went back to our previous X, Y line and took the heights, okay? Here we got our X2, Y2, so we go back to our previous one, which is our X2, Y2, our X1, Y1, and we're bringing it back. Okay, so we're coming backwards. So we're going to the previous X1, Y line, and we're going back to the distance from the other drawing. Now, I can take the distance, say, for 1 there as from the X, Y line, X1, Y1, back to point 1. Okay? But that's a really big distance, okay, to be taken, and it's going to bring our drawing off a mile out off our sheet. So what we can do is we can foreshorten this line, okay? So essentially what we're doing is we're just taking away a certain distance off of all the measurements, okay? So it's not going to alter anything, it's just reducing the distance that is away from the XY line. So I'm going to set up parallel to my X1, Y1 and bring it back there close enough. You can either put it on 2 or you can bring it anywhere. It's a random distance, okay? So for this one, I'm going to just put it on the closest point, okay? So I'm going to run a line there, and that's my foreshortening line, okay? Foreshorten, S-H-O-R-T-E-N, okay? And we're going to take the distance from the foreshortening line back to those points. So because our foreshortening line is on point 2 is going to be there, okay? I'm going to take my compass then, stick it in my foreshortening line, and I'm going to take point 3, take the distance back to point 3, bring it up there, and step it off up there. That gives me my point 3. Point 4, again, foreshortening line, distance to point 4. Okay, stick it in my XY line up here. So that's where point 4 is. Label point 4. And then same here, back to my foreshortening distance, and I'm getting point 1. Okay. Up here, there's point 1. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and 3, and 4. We join them together. And that there then is the true shape of that cut surface. Okay, so remember, we start by looking up here, set up a new elevation to see the edge view of the plane, to see where it cuts it, find where it cuts it, bring those points back down into your elevate or your plan where it crosses OD, OA, OB, and OC. Once you get those points, you can project them up into your elevation. You get your elevation and plan. Your width, this is the big one when you project out here for your true length or for your true shape. You're setting up a new plan, so you have to take the widths from the plan back here. So it's the distance from the X1, Y1 back to the previous view. So if it's an X2, Y2, it's from the X1, Y1 back to the previous view. Or if it's from an X1, Y1, it's the it's the XY back to the previous view. Okay. Any questions? Let me know.